Welcome to Astro Oracle Freestyles. This is message number 2. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop my freestyles. Also, head over to my other channel, Astro Oracle Investigations, where you will see how I solve cold cases, missing persons, and unsolved mysteries. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe over there as well. Right now, I'm going to pull a card. I don't know where this message is going to go, so I don't know how to label it. I'm going to just be labeling my messages from 1 to infinity. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of fun on this channel. Please make sure you hit that bell button because you never know when your message is going to pop out and it's going to reach you on the day that you need to hear it. Venus in the 10th house. Okay. Now, I'm going to be using where the planets are right now. Venus, July 14th, 2025, which is today, is in Gemini. Okay? So that means Gemini will be placed in the 10th house. When Gemini is in the 10th house, Virgo is rising. So, Venus in the 10th house can mean a variety of things, but I'm going to be pulling cards to see exactly, did I pass Virgo? Here we go. If this is a 6th house chart, okay? Because Venus is in Gemini, and then Gemini, Venus in the 10th house means Gemini in the 10th house, okay? So we are speaking about your job, your place of employment. This message is for a co-worker, you, okay? Now, of course, the 6th house is not limited to employment. It's also about your health and your well-being. Okay. Now, this could also mean a good medical report. But keep in mind, Venus, the power of love and attraction, is not just a positive. No planet is positive or negative. It just is. Okay. Venus is the electromagnetic satellite in the heavens that is responsible for our love nature, also our attraction, our power of attraction, our law of attraction. Okay, this is the satellite for the law of attraction. Now, attraction is not a good or bad thing. It just is. You will attract exactly what you are or what you need to learn or whatever the case may be. You can attract your lover as well as your enemy. Okay, you can attract the person that can save your life, but you can also attract the person that will take your life. Okay, and it will always show up as Venus. So you would have to look at the rest of the chart and the rest of the cards. I'm going to be pulling 2 cards, this and this. Okay, so you have to be looking at the cards in order to understand. Then I'm going to be pulling from my war because there's always a spiritual warfare beneath the surface brewing. Okay, because nothing is all good. Okay, we go out here in this world and we do all good because there is something brewing in us. We have a lot of fears in us. There are certain things that we don't want to happen, such as we don't want to end up in the street open or we don't want to end up sick. And we may be battling some spiritual warfare. It's maybe going through a whole war on the inside of our being, which gets us up every day. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of times we're battling with our own flesh. We have habits that we battle with. That's our spiritual warfare. We don't want to be sick, but for some reason we keep battling with this demon of drugs and this I call them demons, this demon of alcohol, and but we don't want to be sick. We are just battling. So sickness is what the 6th house is all about. I'm gonna pull 2 cards from here too. Looks like I'm gonna have to pull from another deck as well because that crime card popped out in the 4th house, the house of home and family. So there was a crime in the family. Now, check this out. Let's first start talking about, because see, I have my crime deck in front of me. Okay? This is my crime deck. Because anytime a crime card gets pulled from the deck of war, I have to elaborate on that crime, and I do it through this deck right here. So before we get to this deck right here, let's talk about the cards that are already pulled. So Venus in the 10th house, that's where Gemini is, okay? Now, Mercury rules Gemini. This is a Virgo rising chart. So I look in the 1st house and also the house of the card that was pulled. Now, check this out. The first house, which is Virgo, and the 10th house, which is Gemini, are both ruled by the same exact electromagnetic satellite, and that is Mercury. Mercury is the planet of the intellect, communication, interaction, and travel. It's just that Mercury rules the intellectual aspect of Gemini and it rules the practical aspect of Virgo. Practical means down to earth, application. Okay, Gemini represents information, reading the directions. Okay, and Virgo represents application, actually following the directions. Okay, and they're both ruled by Mercury. So let's look where Mercury is today. Today, Mercury is in Leo. So let's look where Leo is. Leo is in the 12th house. Okay, now in the 12th house represents spiritual warfare. That is Pisces house. And I just got finished talking about spiritual warfare. Okay, now this first house card, this is where Virgo is. Okay, this is where you are. This is something that you are battling. Okay, you know how I know that? Because the Virgo represents health. This is a health issue that you are battling. Okay, now this health issue this health affair will take place in the 12th house because, like I said, Mercury rules Virgo. So we have to look at where Mercury is since Virgo comes first. Mercury is in Leo and it's in the 12th house. The 12th house is the house of spiritual warfare, drugs, alcoholism. That's where all of our demons and monsters are that we have to fight. Okay? And it looks like you are fighting a large beast, spiritual beast. This beast might be drugs, drug addiction, that's a beast. Alcoholism, that is a beast. Okay, you are battling that. Okay, now there is a 12th house card that was pulled from the war. So this war that you're fighting is also in the 12th house. Like I said, it's a spiritual war though, and it's governing your mental health. Of course, because Mercury rules the mental, the intellect, okay? And Gemini is in the 10th house. That's where this card is, okay? Now, Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Taurus is in the 9th house of higher knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the house of the grandparents, the house of long distance travel, okay, the house of institutions, colleges, churches, and Libra is in the house of money. Okay, so this is directly affecting your money as well, and it's affecting your relationship with your higher power. It's affecting your literal energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay, whatever affects your energy will affect how things unfold for you. Okay, now there is a 9th house card that came out. Okay, and this represents where Taurus is, and this is the house of education. You need to educate yourself on this 9th house matter dealing with Taurus, and I think I just did. Okay, because the 9th house represents your higher power. Okay, what you learn from your own life experiences. That is the energy that you tap into. Once you tap into what you have learned, which is going to be the education that you need, then your money's going to get a whole lot better. Because without you battling your demons and without you rising to that energy of victory, you will be miseducated about this card right here because it directly affects your well-being. Taurus affects your five senses, so it'll affect your actual health. Okay, it'll affect what looks good, sounds good, tastes good, feel good, smell good, all of that. You will mess up your entire health in all those areas. Okay, and you will be out here looking like the monster itself until you learn how to battle that demon and put it in the jail cell where it belongs. The reason why I say jail cell is because you can't destroy demons. You can only keep them arrested and put them behind bars. If you don't put that demon behind bars, that demon is going to put you behind bars. Okay, so now another war card showed up in the 4th house of home and family. Okay, and this is a crime. And that's why I said we're going to pull a crime to see what this crime is. Now, in the 4th house, I see Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the 9th house, where this education of you understanding how your energy is affecting your well being is located at. Okay, so this may be something that runs in the family, runs in your family, but we're going to pull this crime, okay? Because obviously there is a crime, and right now we're going to pull this crime to see what it's talking about, okay? So the moon right now is in Pisces, and this is a perfect time for you to understand this message and to really battle this spiritual warfare. Okay, because this Venus right now is, it's like you're attracting somebody. You have somebody in your life right now that's either helping you or hindering you. You know how I know that? Because, like I said, Venus rules Libra, and Libra is in the second house of money. That's Taurus's house, and Taurus is in the ninth house of this education that you need, because it's both affecting your money and your energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, the seventh house is Libra's house. That is Libra's house. Libra is in Taurus's house. Okay, but in Libra's house, because you got to look at what's going on in Venus's house, because Venus is in the 10th house where Gemini is. In Libra's house, you see Pisces. Remember I told you Pisces rules the 12th house where Leo is, where all of this spiritual activity is taking place. And because this is Venus affecting your 10th house, this means that you are in contact with somebody in your life. You're in a relationship with somebody. You're probably married to somebody who's either helping you or hindering you during this spiritual warfare. And we're about to find out, okay? Because we're going to pull this crime that's taking place in your family in the fourth house. We're going to find out what this crime is, because Sagittarius is there. And this crime is directly affecting your energy, frequency, vibration, your money. I just seen 1111. It's directly affecting your energy, frequency, vibration, and your money and overall well-being. So before this reading is over, you're going to find out whether you need to get rid of whoever you're with, or whether you need to be grateful for who you're with. Okay, now Jupiter rules Sagittarius, where this crime is taking place at, and Jupiter right now is in Cancer. So Cancer is the home and family. Okay, and Sagittarius is in Cancer's house, and Cancer is in the 11th house. Okay, this crime, this family crime, this family lineage, this generational curse that you're battling with is in the 11th house of groups. Okay, groups, gangs, sororities, affiliations, but this particular group is your own family. Okay, so this spiritual warfare that you're going through was inherited from your own family. Okay, and you know how I know it was an inheritance and you were the one that inherited it? Because Aries, which is the first house, which is where this affair is. It's a health affair, though. It's affecting your health because Virgo is there. But this is Aries' house. Aries is in the house of death, which is the 8th house. That is the house of death and inheritance. And Aries represents you, the self. This is how I know you were the chosen one to inherit this spiritual warfare, because you were the one that were given the qualities to be able to conquer it. So let's find out what this actual crime is. Let's elaborate on the crime. Let's elaborate on this crime. All right, what was this crime that's taking place in the family? Health, in the house of health. Religious abuse. Makes sense, because religion, that's the 9th house. That's where this education is. Okay? So you come from a family that have abused, religious abuse, and it's affecting your health. Religious abuse, when you abuse the energy, frequency, and vibration of where you should be, stuff that you know better, stuff that you know better than. But we don't cooperate. When we know better and we tap into that energy, we use this new energy to come up with a new way to do the same bullshit that you was fighting hard to get out of. Okay? When it's time to come in the house and clean up, you don't clean up just so you can go back outside and get dirty. So I feel like this is telling me you come from a family. You were born into an energy of people that have done this. Okay? That have done this, and you are the one chosen to break it. Sometimes you're going to have to suffer. Now I'm going to pull another charge. This other charge is going to give us the solution. Where do we go from here? Okay, how do we break this generational curse of addiction off of our lives? How do you break this generational curse of addiction off your life? And is the person that you're with, are they the blessing, or are they the bad luck, and that you need to get away from them? Okay, this next card that I'm going to pull is going to let me know whether where do you go from here with this crime. Okay, where do we go from here now that we know this is a spiritual warfare? Mercury in the 7th is going to let us know directly, because that's the house of marriage. That's where this partner is, the 7th house. Remember I told you, 7th house. We're going to find out. So let's find out. Where's Mercury at? Mercury's in Leo. Check this out. So now when Leo is in the seventh house, Aquarius is rising, right? Why did I say it like that? Because guess what's in Aquarius's house in the first chart of health? Your family member. Check this out. Aquarius is rising. So it's a group, it's a family member. This family member, check this out. 11th house. Aquarius is rising. And remember in the house of health, what was going on in Aquarius' house? Aquarius was in the sixth house. This is a sixth house chart. So we knew it was a health issue that you inherited from your family. Okay? Your family member. This group of people in the 11th house, that's Aquarius' house. But Aquarius is in the sixth house. And this is a sixth house chart of health. Okay? Now we wanted to know the solution. Where do we go from here? Look, Aquarius is rising. Can't make this shit up because Mercury is in Leo and it's in the seventh house of the partnership. So this actual spiritual warfare, the person responsible for this spiritual warfare in your life is somebody in your own family. Okay? And now this family member, okay? This is your health issue though. The person responsible, Mercury in Leo. So now, looking at this chart, okay, where's the sun at? First of all, Uranus rules Aquarius. And right now, Pluto is in Aquarius. And Uranus is in Gemini. Gemini was the first card that was pulled in the first chart, right? So, Aquarius is in Gemini. This person might be the enabler, and it might be one of your siblings, okay? Or it could be one of your parents' siblings, your father's sibling, because the 10th house is the house of the father, okay? And when Gemini is there, it represents the father's sibling, because Gemini represents the sibling. Now, Aquarius is rising, okay? Now, remember where in the first chart Virgo was coming first? If you look at the chart that was pulled under the solution, look where Virgo is in the house of death. That is where you've inherited this sickness from your family, okay? You've inherited it. The 8th house is the house of inheritance and death, okay? So, with Aquarius rising, if you don't change, you are going to die. Because look where Virgo is. That is the health issue that you was battling with. It's either going to change or it's going to take you out because it's in the house of death. Okay? It's in the house of death. So you're either going to die or it's going to take you out. Okay? So Uranus in Gemini. Where is Gemini at? Okay? Gemini is in the 5th house. Okay? So this would be talking about your cousin. Okay? Your cousin's father. Somehow, this is directly linked to your uncle. Okay? Somebody's keeping this sickness in you alive. They may be the enabler. And it could be your aunt. But this is enabling you. It's keeping the sickness alive. If it's drugs, your uncle is the one that's keeping you addicted, or your aunt. Okay? If it's alcoholism or if it's both, it's your aunt or uncle that's keeping you addicted, and you need to separate from that individual. You might be living with them, and it might be difficult. So what you need to do is you need to go find you a group of people, such as a recovery organization that can help you. Because see, this mental health, it's like you're surrounded by it. You're surrounded by it. And the hidden figure in this house of solution is the authority figure, the father. Okay? Now, in the father's house, we have death. Okay? Now, I'm quite sure probably I'm talking to somebody, your father already passed away. Okay? He passed away due to these substance abuse issues. Okay? But now you're left to fight that because so far that demon of substance abuse has been traveling through your family. and it's killed off your father and your family members and all that, and you are currently living with one of his siblings or brothers, or you have some type of relationship with them that keeps enabling you to stay under that curse. They're keeping you in that spirit of addiction. Okay, you have to learn how to separate up from them. Okay, you have to learn how to separate from them, because if not, you're not going to make it. And you have to learn how to get your mind right. Okay, if this is you, you may want to reach out to me for a personal reading, so that way I can get more personal with you while pulling cards, and the ancestors will give me the solution that you need for your particular situation or circumstance. So if you feel like that's you, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Reach out to me in my email in the link below. Okay, also, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop these investigations. Okay? Also, head over to my other channel, Astro Oracle Investigations. This is a freestyle, okay? And I keep getting my freestyles mixed up with my investigations. But at the end of the day, this is also an investigation too. It's just that on this side, we investigate the living situations and circumstances, okay? And on the other side of my channel, I investigate the situation, circumstances surrounding the person's disappearance or their death, or the crime, the unsolved mystery, okay? So, with that being said, y'all be blessed.